Hello, dear viewers. Today I have arrived with the Cancer Ascendant chart. The birth details to be noted are 29 November 1996, 21:59, Karimnagar, Telangana, India. And you can also use the time zone details and the longitude and latitudinal details as well as are evident on the screen. So kindly subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon in order to get notified for the upcoming videos and podcasts like this. These will be the podcasts with difference and interaction with all the ascendants, all the natives belong to any of the ascendants from among the 12 ascendants. As I have analyzed in most of my sessions, let us see that this is a Cancer Ascendant chart rising at 15 degrees 11 minutes. So the ascendant plays an important role in Vedic astrology. Every problem is based on the ascendant, and every nakshatra that is linked with the ascendant has a role to play. So primarily this is the native that has faced many problems in so far as the job area is concerned, so far as the professional life of the native is concerned. The native has been facing many problems in life. If we consider separately the Lagna chart itself, there are no such problems evident in the chart. Now let us comment on the strengths of the chart. First, moon is placed in its own Multrikon's house, that is Cancer sign, and it's 5 degree 40 minutes, and it's utterly strong. If we are strong, there is nothing, and there is no need to strengthen moon at all. It's sufficiently strong. So this is the plus point of this chart, that moon is utterly strong, isn't it? And it's placed in its own house. It means that the personality of the native is kapha dominant, and he will succeed in most of the areas of his life because the ascendant lord is utterly strong in the chart, and it's not afflicted at all, isn't it? In every respect, the ascendant lord is strong in this chart, and the orb of affliction is 1 degree, which is itself not evident in the chart because no other planet is exactly afflicting moon by 5 degrees, so as to say that the moon could have been afflicted by the malefic planet. Anyhow, this is an advanced concept which can't be understood by the viewers at all. Rahu is placed in the 11th house. Rahu is placed in the 3rd house, and Ketu is placed in the 11th house, and Rahu and Ketu are giving afflictions in the chart. This is the matter of concern for the native. So Rahu and Ketu are strong in the chart, and the dispositors of Rahu, dispositor of Rahu, Mercury, is in utter infancy. So these are the weaknesses. Firstly, let me complete rather the strengths of the chart. The first strength of the chart is that moon is placed in its own empty sign, that is in the Cancer sign, and it is an amazing blessing for the native. The second strength of the chart is that Venus is placed in its own Multrikon sign, that is Libra, and is 14 degrees 22 minutes. So, and it is closely influencing, favorably, positively influencing 4th house, and it's positively influencing the 10th house. This is the beauty of the chart given the strength of the chart. The third strength of the chart is that Saturn is placed in the 9th house, and it's in strength, and it does not afflict any planet at all. This is the beauty of this chart. And Sun is also strong in the chart. It's 13 degrees 55 minutes, placed in the 5th house. This is yet another strength of the chart which is quite evident. Fourthly, the strength of chart is that Jupiter is 24 degrees 15 minutes, placed in its own empty sign, that is Sagittarius, and it's in sufficient, it's fairly strong. placed in Sagittarius sign. This is the fourth strength of the chart. Fifth strength of the chart is that Rahu and Ketu are not debilitated in the chart, because that forms another weakness in most of the charts. They should not be debilitated. So Rahu is quite strong, placed in third house, and Ketu is also quite strong, placed in ninth house. So far as Mars is concerned, it's 22 degrees and 1 minute and 0.1 minutes, and it's utterly strong, placed in the second house, and by placement Mars is quite strong. So this is the sixth strength of the chart. So these are the main strengths of the chart that I have pointed one by one. I'll repeat it, that Moon is strong, first strength. Secondly, Venus is utterly strong. Thirdly, Sun is utterly strong. Fourthly, Jupiter is utterly strong. Fifthly, Saturn is utterly strong. Sixthly, Mars is fairly strong. And seventhly, Rahu and Ketu are quite strong in the chart. So these are the major strengths of the chart which the native have been enjoying in the life. So this is one aspect of the chart where we pointed out the strengths of the chart. Now let us come to the weaknesses of the chart. The Mercury is utterly weak in the chart. It's 29 degrees. It's it's in old age. So it is the lord of third house, the house of initiatives, and it becomes the dispositor of Rahu in this case. So this is weakness. This is the first weakness of the chart. The second weakness of the chart is that Rahu and Ketu are giving afflictions in the chart. Yes, Rahu and Ketu are giving afflictions in the chart, forms the another weakness in the chart. Ketu afflicts Sun by its 9th aspect. So it is the cause of concern for the native, and the conjunction is coming closer, isn't it? So this is one of the disastrous conjunction that is going on in this chart, which will be quite challengeable for the native throughout the life. It will lead to losses. It will lead to drain of wealth, isn't it? It will lead to family issues also. It will lead to abortion of the native also, isn't it? It will lead to lack of status in the society, and it will lead to eyesight and eye troubles also for the native, so far as the right eye is concerned. And the general health of the native will be quite impacted by this conjunction of Ketu with the Sun. So this is the weakness of the chart. So Rahu and Ketu are giving afflictions in the chart. This is the weakness. Another weakness, so far as third weakness is concerned, that the lagna of this chart, that is the Cancer Ascendant itself, that is the first house, the house of personality, the house of self, that rises in the nakshatra of Saturn, that rises in the Pushya nakshatra. So this is the major weakness of the chart, which is responsible for the struggle of the native which he has been facing. Otherwise 10th house lord placed in the second house is an amazing placement, and the dispositor of Mars is placed in the 5th house, and that is afflicted by Ketu. But the lagna, that the ascendant itself, rises in the Pushya nakshatra, that's the nakshatra of Saturn. It means that 5th house also rises in the Pushya nakshatra, and 9th house also rises in the Pushya nakshatra. So this forms the major weakness of the chart, which is responsible for the struggle of the native. So here we don't see that the native has born, so far as the traditional concept of nakshatra is concerned, that is useless. We won't get anything out of that, because that is not based on the scientific principles, isn't it? The ascendant nakshatra, the nakshatra of the ascendant, the nakshatra of the 5th house, and the nakshatra of the 9th house, they all rise in the nakshatra of Saturn, and Saturn is the most malefic planet for the Cancer Ascendant natives, isn't it? So this has been a major weakness of the chart, which is responsible for the strengths, for the struggles of the native that he has been facing. So the native is going through the Mahadasha of Mercury right now, and it's the Antardasha of Jupiter since 17 August 2024. I don't want to discuss Mahadasha topic in this podcast. These will be the general chart analysis series, moving from Aries to the Pisces Ascendant, and nothing else. And so far as the transit is concerned, this is D7. Let us move to the transits. And so far as the transit is concerned, and in the transit it's Mars, debilitated in its Lagna right now, and Jupiter is placed in the Taurus, 18 degrees, and Jupiter won't give good results here. In the case of Cancer Ascendant, there will be disputes with the friend circle, with the friends, disputes with respect to gains and income streams. There will be debts also connected with the gains and desires and gains and income also, and litigations with respect to the revenue and income that will be in the life of this native, in particular rising in 15 degrees and 11 minutes. So Saturn is in its own Muldragun sign is a blessing for the native, but it will start giving afflictions as Saturn comes closer to the most effective point of the horoscope. So these are the basic weaknesses which I discussed, and Rahu is afflicting Mars in the transit, and transit affliction is going on right now. So these are the major challenges that Ketu is placed in the third house right now, and these are the major challenges in the life of the native, that Jupiter is going on, and Ketu Mahadasha is the upcoming Mahadasha. That will be quite challengeable for the native, because the MEP afflictions of Rahu and Ketu are evident in the chart. So this is a cause of concern for the native. So far as the D9 is concerned, we can see that the Mahadasha Lord D9 is debilitated in the D9. So it, Mercury being in the weakness in the D1, and in the D9 it's in the debilitation, it affects the general strength of Mercury as a whole. So far as the D6 is concerned, it's Capricorn Ascendant, so the secondary additional prime determinant of the health is not defined in this chart. And so far as the Hora is concerned, it's the Sun, and Sun is the second house lord, and the secondary prime determinant for the wealth is Sun again, but Sun is afflicted in the chart. That is a challenge in the life of the native. So these are the transits, and these are the this Mahadasha that are quite important to be noted in the chart. So this is all important what to be discussed, and there need to be remedies, the afflictions that are going on and the challenges that will be in the native. However, the native will be able to create assets in life, because this is the another aspect of this chart which I don't want to discuss in this podcast, because given the theme that it will be a general chart analysis for the Cancer Ascendant as a whole. So I have discussed the general weaknesses and the general strengths of the chart, and the challenge, and the main challenge of the chart is that the ascendant rises in the Pushya Nakshatra, and Saturn itself placed its own nakshatra gives it much strength, and the nakshatra lord of Saturn, it's Saturn itself. So this is making Saturn quite strong in the chart. It should be strong, but it should not have connection with the nakshatra of ascendant. That is the main thing that should not have been there, but it is there now. It will be throughout the life of the native. We have to see the remedies in order to get native out of these problems that he is tend to face out of the nature of the nakshatras that are occupied in the trine houses. So this is all. To subscribe the channel necessarily in order to enjoy the upcoming podcast like this, and in order to make me encourage more and more, so that I upload podcasts for you and enrich your knowledge, because no astrologer will post podcast like this where he will cast a horoscope and give the details, because he won't be able to analyze a chart like this, isn't it? He does not have such a courage. He will say, yo, this, that, though. I know, because being an astrologer, I know what happens and why most of the astrologers are not willing to upload chart on their website, on their YouTube platforms, because they won't be able to analyze it in the concrete way, isn't it? It's not everyone's cup of tea. So this is all about this chart. Thank you.